I guess it's all about learning their social positioning, and we need to provide a safe environment, a safe place for them to practice that the opportunities for understanding power and where it can take them and use accordingly. Otherwise, it just turns into a fight, it turns into animosity, it turns into a bit of grief, and no one enjoys that at the end of the day. It's not a good thing. So we need to teach these things a bit better, not just the curriculum, but how to socialise as well. Okay, so we've all got basic human needs, and this is to feel safe and to be connected. And this whole thing is about the power struggle, and what's behind it is the need to feel connected with people. So we've got survival, and from a holistic way of looking at survival, it's on many, many levels. And some of the kids that we had come into school were doing just that. They were just seemingly just trying to survive, not just at home and society, but also at school. And we know what bullying's about, and we know how cruel kids can be. And we know that ostracizing people from the group is also a very painful experience for many kids. We all need love and belonging within an environment. We need that with our families, we need that with our friends, and we definitely need it at school. And we also need that sense of belonging with our teachers and teacher aides. We need a sense of power. With a sense of power comes confidence and a feeling of being, I guess, accepted and important, and a sense of identity as well. We need freedom, and we certainly need security. We need security through jobs, we need security through a home. But the interesting thing with the kids when we talk about this, and my students, is that these two aren't easy to separate, because without one or the other doesn't happen, if that makes sense. We all want freedom. Kids think they need freedom, but ultimately they don't know what to do with that freedom when they've got it. So they need boundaries, and boundaries is about security. So we talk about security in a big way. So if I'm having a power struggle with a kid in school, and he wants his freedom, and he wants to take over, etc., I talk about security a lot, because I said in the future, the security comes from your job. It comes from your friends and your family, and it comes from the things that you start to put together. So that's the strategy around that. We can talk about that soon. And of course, it's about having fun. And we all know, particularly at TAFE, that at the end of the day, life's short, and we try to have fun as well as anything. And we definitely try to have fun in the classroom and make learning and make teaching fun and make understanding fun as best we can. So after this slide, I'm going to ask you to put a few questions in the chat box, because we're going to talk about some of the basic human behaviours that go on in the classroom. So yeah, I'm just sort of thinking about behaviour and personality types, but it's not really that sort of PowerPoint to get into that too much. But what do you see in the classroom when you see certain behaviours? Do you identify them as being around attention seeking or power seeking or revenge seeking or avoidance seeking? I'm asking you that question because I'm not sure if you've gone through this before, but it was certainly worth bringing up, because each of them have a particular goal and a belief behind them and a message behind all of them. So for instance, attention seeking is to keep others busy or to get some sort of a service. It's to bring people towards them, because they believe that I belong when I am noticed. And the message is notice me, involve me, and connect with me. So you can see it as attention seeking and it being annoying, but you can also see behind the behavior, because behind every behavior there's a need, and you can start putting a strategy around helping that young person to get their needs met. Because the best gift actually is bringing to attention that the behavior that they're using is not a good strategy. Okay, I use that in the classroom all the time. What you're doing is not a good strategy. Let's look at another way of getting your needs met. And it's this whole thing about not needing to be in an environment. And some environments, you almost a dysfunctional environment, you need to behave like this in order to get your needs met. Get the attention of your father or your mother or the teacher or friends or something like that. And it's not a nice place to be, not for a long time at all. Power seeking. There's a goal there, is to be the boss, and this is why we have particularly have the alpha males and alpha females seeking to take power away from anyone. There's particularly an extroverted seeking type is the power seeker for sure. I belong when I'm boss. I belong when I'm in control. So power seeking is really about control. And the message is, let me help. They need to know, they need to have choices, and they always also need to feel capable. So when they're in that position, I mean, to me, they're leaders, and they just need to be able to use that skill to better effect rather than taking it. I think they need to understand that they have got power and it's a strength, but it's also helping them to understand how they're going to use it and where they're going to use it and with whom they're going to use it. So during times of the day, I'll definitely create some opportunity for someone who is like that to feel powerful and feel empowered. And that's a really, really good skill, particularly going forward in life. You have revenge type seeking personalities or behaviors within. So they're always sub personalities actually. And their goal is to get even with you. And they believe I'm not liked or I'm not loved, so I hurt. And that's the revenge part of it. And that's really quite sad that they need to do that. But basically, they're asking for help. They are hurting. And this is where you acknowledge their feelings. And this is where the communication and the role plays that you can undertake with, all of these actually at one point or another to help them to some sort of consciousness or some sort of understanding of why they are engaging like that.